Good evening, baseball fans. It is Monday, April 29th, and it is actually like a good evening because Astros swept. I'm going to say swept. It doesn't even matter that it's two games. I'm going to say it swept because it counts. So Astros swept. The endorphins are all rushing to my brain. And what we have, as an Astros fan base, have been wanting for, I don't know, I say months and months now. It really has only been like a couple of months. Loperfido has been called up. So all of the endorphins are rushing to my head, and I'm very excited about it. But before we get into that, I shall give you the radar warning. This will be a radar podcast for all of the four-letter words. Maybe less so because I'm in a better mood. Don't get it twisted. There will probably be some just because. Also probably some adult humor and maybe no dark humor, maybe no yeeting off of bridges or anything like that because our team is on the ascent. It's on the ascent. So, I'm Susie. This is Tom. This is Bourbon and Baseball, Astros edition. I just realized I watched a bunch of the videos back and I realized that I've been pointing to you on this side, but like when it plays, you're on this side. And so I just look like a freaking idiot not knowing which side to point to. So there's that. So anyhow, how are you, Tom?
I am fantastic. The Astros are getting a much needed day off, coming off a 2-game winning streak in Mexico City. We saw what I will say on this pod, and from henceforth, a man do the Lord's work and get all the curses off the Stros with the jersey. Things are on the up and up.
Let's hope. Let us hope. We go into a two-team homestand, 3 games each, with one of the best teams in baseball, the Cleveland Guardians. If you had that on your baseball bingo card at the beginning of the season, then give me the bingo numbers. Give me all of the lotto numbers because I don't think at any point in time anyone had the Cleveland Guardians being one of the best teams in baseball. Literally, maybe a half game back of the Atlanta Braves. And they're doing this with a decimated pitching staff. So we go from decimated pitching staff, and apparently the Cleveland Guardians have learned how to hit bombs and score with runners in scoring position. Maybe we need to take lessons from them. And then we move on to the Seattle Mariners, who start off a little rough. They did. Their pitching staff, not so good. George Kirby, Luis Castillo, Logan Gilbert, they've figured it out. So we go from decimated pitching staff to possibly Mariners fans, if you're listening, cover your ears. I don't want to give you guys compliments. Possibly the best pitching rotation in the AL. I don't know if I put anybody above them.
No one's going to agree with that. The numbers bear it out, but no one's going to be like, yeah, the Mariners. Yeah, of course.
Really and honestly, I want to give it to say the Kansas City Royals. I'll give it to the Royals instead. There we go. That makes my soul happy. Happier. Happier. Anyhow, two-team homestand, Guardians, Mariners. Let's start off on a happy note though. Joey Loperfido is getting called up. We're super excited about that. Everyone around the team seems a little excited about that. Apparently, there is an empty spot on our 40 man. Apparently, we've been having a 39 man. Apparently, we have an open spot on the 40 man. But we still need to get somebody off of the 26 man. So, Tom, tell me, who do you think is the 26 man? Who leaves us?
I suspect it is Greg Kissinger. And the reason I suspect that is because of Mauricio Dubon. You really have no use for Greg Kissinger if you have Mauricio Dubon because he can play all of the positions that Greg Kissinger can play. So, in what world does it not make sense if you want to give Joey Loperfido a shot? And I think Gray still has options. So you send
I
Gray
think he has
down.
one.
Yeah. So send Gray down. Bring J-Lo up. The jukebox is rocking J-Lo as he hit tanks. And maybe we see Gray back. Maybe we don't. I don't know.
Okay, so then thus begs the question, how much playing time do you actually think J-Lo gets? And at what position?
I think he gets one start, and I think it's at first base.
Like once a week? Once
I think
a
they're going to give him.
homestand? What
I
what are
think
we doing?
I think he gets a start in this series somewhere. I think he's a left-handed bat, power bat. I think he's going to get one of Singleton's usual starts where we want a lefty in there to battle some righty that's bad against lefties, whatever. And we go from there. If he goes up there and he goes 0 for 4 with a golden sombrero, then maybe he doesn't get another run. If he goes up there and he goes 1 for 4 with a bomb, maybe we see him in a week. If he goes up there and he's 4 for 4 with a couple doubles, a single, and 3 RBIs, maybe he stays in the lineup. I don't know. It's all going to be performance based, I think, with Joey Loperfido.
And therein lies the problem, if we're gonna be honest with it. I think the boy needs I say the boy, I think 25, so I can't say boy, he is a man. He needs I think he needs everyday reps. He needs everyday reps. If you're not gonna bring him up and play him every day, then what are we doing?
You know what you're doing. You're not going to play him every day. I don't know why anybody would suggest it. No matter how much you want Jose Abreu gone, you will not get him gone at $19 million a year for the entire season. Will they platoon? Absolutely. I think if Joey Loperfido does what, say, Yiner did last year, I think you look at something like a 50-50 split. And I think Joe Espada, seeing how that went, will have learned that lesson and go, oh no, the kid's got to play. Joe Espada's got a huge hard on for this kid. All puns intended. He's a big fan of Joey Loperfido. He's gushed about this kid since spring training. This guy's making it hard for us to send him down. He's really pushing to be on the roster. He was the last roster cut. And all he's done in AAA is mashed. Yes, he's Cade. Everybody's gonna point to the strikeout numbers. Totally understand it. And I don't care. I don't care. And you know what? You know what's interesting? You made a comment today about missing Jose Siri. You know what Jose Siri did?
I have missed Jose Siri's machismo.
Jose Siri mashed when he hit. He just struck out a ton, and nobody wanted that. And I'm here to say, I was one of those guys that was like, look, if he's going to strike out 5 times every time out, then maybe not. When he was in homers, nobody cared. So if J Lo's going to hit and strike out, then no, then like you said, Kyle Schwarber 2.0, no one's going to care. It's if he strikes out and doesn't hit. So we'll see.
So apparently the comps that should be made for Joey Loperfido are more along the lines of Max Muncy. You think Max Muncy's bat, not Max Muncy's defense. Just don't let's I want to say Max Muncy, but don't get it twisted. We're not talking about Max Muncy's lackadaisical, horrible defense. Power numbers and batting wise, that's what we're talking about, Max Muncy. And if you are familiar with second baseman Edouard Julien of the Twins, those are the comps that apparently you should be making for Joey Loperfido's power and numbers and comparisons like that. I read a stat today that let me see if I can find it here. That let's see this stat comes from Matt Ahern. Yes, Joey Loperfido's first 4 games at AAA, he had a 176 average, a 211 OBP, and a 706 slug for a 916 OPS. He hit 3 home runs, 0 stolen bases with a 5.3% walk rate and a 47.4% K rate. Joey Loperfido's last 20 games in AAA does not include, so this stat was written yesterday. It does not include yesterday's 2 for 3 day with 2 walks, 1K, 1 home run, and a stolen base. So a 296 average, a 408 OBP, a 679 slug. That's good for a 1.087 OPS, 10 home runs, 4 stolen bases, 13.3% walk rate, and a 27.6% K rate. Now, just to put those numbers in perspective, thank you. Like a good quote unquote walk rate, just like Kyle Tucker walks about 12% of the time. I'm not saying he's Kyle Tucker, people. I'm just saying that's what you can expect. And a 25% K rate is about average, like what they want average baseball players to do. So just a little bit higher than normal. But considering that the walk rate has just skyrocketed, I will take that. I will take that all day, every day. So you mean to tell me that if he's not going to hit tanks, he will draw the walk? Okay. So someone else had said something about like comparing him to Joey Gallo. and that's not it either. Think Max Muncy, think Edward Julian of the Twins,
And look,
and
and this is just with the bat. Defensively, he's really good. This is a converted outfielder who was very athletic, diving plays, running down balls. The game we went and saw the Verlander start at Sugarland, he went up against the railing to go make a play. So Duke can definitely play defense, which if you're not going to be all the average, you definitely want that. We've
yep.
seen Jose Abreu struggle at times amongst other things with his defense as well. So I think that this is a legit prospect from both sides. And that's why they're like, look, we could use the boost. We could use the offense.
And I'm not saying that he's gonna come in and he's gonna be the spark plug, but he kinda has a little bit of that energy, and the fact that he made paella at spring training for the entire for the entire club, I don't know too many rookies not on the club that would put themselves out there and make paella for literally everybody. Again, I need everybody to temper their expectations though, because again, do we remember Jackson Holiday and that he just got sent down and he was tearing the cover off the ball in AAA and he was not putting up MLB The Show type numbers, but very good numbers in AAA. And he came up and he struggled. I need you guys to remember that obviously the major leagues is a little bit different. Now, Joey Loperfido is 5 years older than Jackson Holiday. So I'm hoping that maybe with the extra seasoning, the transition will be just smooth. Fingers crossed. Knock on the wood. This is not actual wood. I don't know what to knock on. If you have something to knock on the wood.
And for the people that are concerned that it's too quick, he's too young, he's too this, he's too that, there's only one way to find out. That literally you have to give him the opportunity and see if he can handle it. And that's how they find guys all the time. Yainer Diaz was not beating anybody's door down before he got the opportunity. Now he looks like one of the best young prospect catchers in all of baseball. And it took the Astros going, hey, what's this kid got? Let's see. And he was doing good things in the minors, and they brought him up and kept doing it. And it's all right, he's here to stay. And maybe that's Joey Loperfido, and maybe it's not. But in order to identify that, he's definitely not going to give you worse than what you're getting from the other two guys, in my opinion. Singleton's been a little better, so I guess it's not fair to him. But Jose Abreu is basically giving you nothing. So
No,
worst you
that's
can.
it's worse, literally worse than nothing, guys. Like legitimately worse than nothing.
So
It's
the worst Joey Loperfido can do is the same thing you're getting from first base. If he excels, then more power to him, right? You
exactly.
want that.
Exactly. So I'm looking at his baseball reference and let's see. In 25 games in Sugarland, he has 4 doubles, 5 stolen bases, 16 walks. He's been intentionally walked 2 times.
I love it.
I don't know how
I
many minor leaguers, like, get walked intentionally. That's awesome.
and you know it
Uh,
happens, but just the fact that's there is just like one more thing. Like the other minor league teams, like we're not fucking with that guy. We'll
right.
deal with the other guy, whoever that is. Ultimate sign of respect. And I feel like with this, something you just pointed out that I didn't even know, but obviously that's going to be more exciting too. He's stolen 5 bags. There's another guy that can run. Neither guy at first base right
Neither
now
yeah,
is
first base can
stealing
run.
you a
Yeah,
bag if you need it. Neither guy.
right. Yeah,
So,
no double steals getting put on by either Jose Abreu or John Singleton.
mm-mm.
So he does lead all of professional baseball with 13 home runs. That's minor league or major league, okay? 13 home runs, 27 RBIs in 25 games.
If Otani had 13 home runs right now, do you know what they would be talking about? Aaron Judge, if Aaron Judge had 13 home runs right now, you know what they'd be
Aaron Judge
talking
ain't got
about?
shit right now. Er
Exactly. And you know what we would be saying if Jordan Alvarez had 13 home runs right now?
right?
So for me, we've said it on this show plenty of times. Give us J-Lo. Worst he can do,
7 713 slug.
big numbers.
That is
Video game.
ridiculous. That is wow. That is very impressive. With a 1.106 OPS. That is impressive. So impressive. Let's talk about, like I said, the Cleveland Guardian series comes in tomorrow, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. The pitching rotation looks like it will be Hunter Brown on Tuesday, Justin Verlander on Wednesday, and Spencer Arrighetti on Thursday. So that matches up with Cookie Carrasco, right-handed pitcher for the Guardians, Tristan McKenzie, another right-hander for the Guardians, and then Logan Allen, left-handed pitcher on Thursday. So I heard a very sobering statistic the other day, Tom.
Sobering, huh?
It was very sobering. Literally, all of the starts made by Hunter Brown, JP France, and Spencer Arrighetti, we have lost. That is sobering. That is sobering. So let's hope that it turns around.
Even if it doesn't, let's hope that in 2 weeks' time, we may not be talking about all three of them starting baseball games. I'm glad you brought up the rotation because Framber's back. So now the top, Framber, JV, CJ could be back as soon as Friday.
CJ
So,
apparently CJ is going in the Mariners series.
which would be Friday, I believe.
Yeah.
So now you're talking Framber, JV, CJ, Ronell, and Urquidy's supposedly right behind him. So there could be a scenario where those three guys could all come from the pen or could
JP
be in Triple.
France, if you guys don't know, JP France did get optioned down to AAA. The word on the street is he will be called back up at some point within the next couple of weeks because we don't have an off day. Again, we've got 30 games. Basically almost 3 weeks without a day off. So, 1, 2, 3. I can't do math. Guess what? I have the app right
Schedule.
here. I could probably count. That would be SM art of me to do. So let's see. 1, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. We have 17 games in a row with no off days. And that is the Yankees. We face the Yankees, the Tigers, the Oakland Athletics, the Milwaukee Brewers, and the Los Angeles Angels all during that stretch. So odds are he will be called up at some point during that stretch to fill in, but hopefully he gets what he needs to worked out. And
You think
again,
he gets a
he
start
was
down? And
do I think he gets to start in Sugarland? Was that the question?
yeah, JP France.
I believe so. I believe so. They wanna keep him stretched out and they want him to work on I don't know exactly what they want him to work on. I would imagine release points and a couple of certain pitches, but Mickey Story makes those calls. So Tristan McKenzie is literally pitching on like half of a UCL though. I don't understand how they are winning games. I don't understand how the Guardians are winning games when their rotation is as decimated as they are. But I don't know. We shall see. So hopefully Hunter Brown gets pushed into the bullpen at some point. I would love to see Hunter Brown as a starter and keep him as a starter. Unfortunately, though, it doesn't look like it's working out that way. And I think if he gets pushed into the bullpen, he can be that swingman that CJ was a couple seasons back, like the long man with like
And I
better
feel it
stuff.
and I feel at 25, that's perfectly fine. This doesn't necessarily if tomorrow is Hunter's last start, say
Right.
for argument's sake, and he's a reliever for the rest of the season, there's nothing that says he can't turn around and be stretched back out and come back next season, whatever, as a starter. I think it's a blessing in disguise, really, because you're able to keep some tread on his tires and not wear him down 200 inning seasons where you can gradually get to that. So
And also, I think his stuff just plays better. And I think mentally, I think his stuff plays better when he knows that he only has to go 1, 2 innings. You know what I'm saying? Or like 3 innings max, and he can let that shit air out. And so maybe the rotation consists of JV, Fromber, CJ, Ronell, and Spencer Arrighetti, and then maybe Urquidy gets pushed into the bullpen at some point.
I think they send Spencer down. I don't think they keep him up if they've got
Really?
other starters back. That's just me.
Okay. Or do you think we trade Urquidy?
No.
We
For
don't trade
what?
Urquidy? I don't know. I don't know. But
But there has to be like a
Urquidy was on the trading block last season.
true,
Not last season. Last season? No, season before.
but you had holes that you were trying to fill. Where's the hole?
Third base? Sorry, Alex. I don't know. But also, do you think Joey Loperfido gets any run in the outfield?
If he's hitting and they want to keep him up, he's absolutely going to play center field. Absolutely.
Then where's Mauricio Dubon gonna play?
Left field. You asked the question. I
That's
didn't
fine.
do it.
That's fine. You know what I need to look at? I need to look at Joey Loperfido versus right-handed pitching. That's what I would like to see. Joey Loperfido versus right-handed pitching. How do I look that up?
That seems like a fan graphs thing. But yeah, that
Oh,
would be a
there we go.
luxury. If he's hitting, then all of a sudden he plays just because you want his bat in the lineup at all times. You don't have to go to Jake Myers. You don't have to go to Chas McCormick.
Joey Loperfido versus right-handed hitting is what I would like to see. Please and thank you. Did you say it's a Fangraphs thing? Is that what you're saying?
That's where I would look if I were you.
Fine.
I will try to pull it up.
Okay, you look over there. I'm gonna keep looking at StatHead because I feel like it should be in here, but these are not the splits that I'm looking for. At some point in time, I will figure StatHead out. So let me ask you this:
I'm listening.
how are you going to feel if we only win one game per series?
I guess really it's going to depend on how. If they're like, if the offense is gone and they lose a couple 1-0, 2-0 games, I'm going to hate it. But I'm not going to be upset as if Hunter Brown gives up 5 runs in the first inning and they lose 7-2. I really just hope that's how I hope they win a bunch of 2-1 games, something like that.
Okay. So if our bullpen blows it, how angry? What will you feel if our bullpen blows it? Let me ask that. I don't know why there's three of you now.
Fangraphs just like, shut my whole shit down. Like I was like searching Joey Loperfido and then it's like everything quit.
That's fun. I was all right. You froze, and I was like, I'm gonna just keep talking, and hopefully he just unfreezes. But then you just showed
Okay.
back up, and then there was three of you. Anyhow,
All right. What would you like to see again? Batted ball.
Joey Loperfido versus right-handed pitching.
Okay.
So if we ideally we would sweep and get back on track.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like them's lofty goals.
Oh, for
So
sure.
I will take just series wins. Series
Same.
wins. All I want to do is just like win this series. Okay. 2 out of 3 for Cleveland, 2 out of 3 for Seattle, and let's get back on track. I was trying to do math, and we all know how dangerous it is when I try and do math. So if we take 4 games out of the 6, so that's like 4 and 2. So then I would add 4 to our 9, correct? So that would be
Yes.
what, 13?
Mm-hmm.
13 and then I would add 2 to the 19, so 13 and 21.
Mm-hmm.
That's still not a great number. I'm still not happy with it.
Yeah, but you got to remember the hole they were in.
That's true, that's
They were
true, but I mean,
they were 7-19. If you go from 7-19 to 13-21, you're doing some things.
that is true. How but I will be even happier if we take those from Seattle
Mm,
versus Cleveland. If I'm going to wish and hope and send out all the good vibes for one series win, it is against Seattle because they now have ascended to the top. They are 15 and 13. They are at the top. The Rangers are half a game behind them. And then it's not even it's not even the Angels that are in third place. It is the Oakland Athletics doing the damn thing in third with 12
mhm.
and 17. And then the Angels coming in at 10 and 18. So Angels fans are also punching air right now. Ron Washington is calling all of the team meetings.
Hmm,
Yeah, if we take 13, if that's 13 and what did I say, 21?
mhm.
Then we will have handed 2 losses to Seattle. I'm not even counting whatever they do in the other series. So that would be what, 17, no, 16 and 15? 16 and 15, depending on, and then depending on whatever they do for the other the other serieses.
And I love that. That makes that division a whole lot easier to deal with. It makes the climb to the top way more easier to swallow. And then you factor in the fact that the rotation's getting healthy. And then potentially you factor in the fact that they've got another young stud that's over here tearing the cover off the ball who was wasting away at Sugarland and they pulled him up and now he's doing it for the Astros.
Right, Cubbies, look at you go. Mets fans also punching air right now. Luis Severino had a no-no going through the 8th that
And then
got
they
broken up,
lost.
and then they lost 3-1.
That's pain. Whole lot of pain.
Indeed, indeed. Also, you can't tell me shit about Tommy Pham and the White Sox because they are now
Oh my
tied.
God. Oh
They
my God.
they swept the Rays. They swept the Rays, Tom. They swept the Rays, and they are currently tied 2-2 with the Twins in the what? Top of the 8th now, or bottom of the 8th now.
What did Tommy Pham do in that game?
In what game? Today's game?
Yeah. It only works if he's actually contributing.
Straw that stirs the drink, baby. Straw that stirs the drink.
Tommy Pham is not even in the lineup tonight.
Don't care.
Straw.
He's in the dugout. He's in the dugout. I don't even care. He's in the dugout. He is hyping those boys up. I don't even know if that's true or not. I don't watch White Sox games. Okay.
Who's doing the work?
You can
Andrew
say Martin
Vaughn.
Mondato.
Andrew Vaughn is doing the work. No, he's not in the lineup either, which it might be why they're winning more than anything.
Do they actually let Corey Lee catch?
They did.
What?
Yep. Work the walk and everything. Poor Corey.
That's insane. Okay, if you guys could start doing things, that would be great.
Who's
Fantasy
that?
team, that would be delightful. My
Yours?
fantasy team, yeah. Did you ever find out the numbers about what
I did not. I got all kinds of stats that didn't help me.
that's not helpful. Okay, so I will look this up, guys, because I actually am really interested in to see what his splits are. JoeyLoperfido's stats against right-handed pitching, since he is left-handed. Does it? I'm wondering if it matters. Is if he's like our other left-handers, i.e., Kyle Tucker, Gordon. Does it matter? Left hand, right hand? Does it matter? We'll see. I'm gonna look that up.
I know his
I may.
WRC plus is 152.
That's a good WRC plus, y'all. It's a good WRC plus. Again, average WRC plus is 100. So he is 52% better than your average baseball player.
Mm-hmm.
Them's good numbers. Them is good numbers.
But yeah, I can't find anything that gives me left and right.
Okay. Again, I will look that up for you guys. Next episode, I will put that out. Maybe I'll put that out on this in a stat on Twitter or something like that. We shall see. We shall see. Like I said, we've got Cleveland Guardians coming up, and then why did I say Tampa Bay Rays? I was just talking about the Tampa Bay Rays, and that's why Seattle Mariners. There we go. Seattle Mariners. So let me see if they have it. I don't think they've got the rotation up for.
Like back to your question about how will I feel about these series is.
Mm-hmm.
If the Astros take care of Seattle and say they lose the series against the Gardos,
Mm-hmm.
I'm still going to feel incredibly good because they're still doing their work in their division. They
Okay.
will have the season series on the Rangers. They will have the season series on Seattle. And little by little, I got to feel like that's gonna matter in a sense in which we feel, or at least I feel, that as long as they win the division, even if it's by one game, everything is still on the table. Everything's still where you want to be.
Okay.
Ideally,
That is
yes,
fair.
you'd love to have the best record, but win the division, guarantee you're getting home field advantage, and see what happens.
All right. The pitching matchups have not been released for the Mariners series just yet. However, I want to say George Kirby went
Are they playing today?
Sunday.
I'll give you
Are
an
they
idea.
playing today? No. Yes. They are playing the Braves right now.
The Mariners are. Oh, I
The
was looking at
Mariners are.
Guardians. I don't know why I was looking at
No.
Guardians. You're right.
So Mariners right now are, and who is pitching for them today?
Bryce Miller.
Bryce Miller. So, did Brian Wu come back?
Woo, woo, woo.
I can't remember if Brian Wu came back because George Kirby went yesterday, right? Nope, Logan Gilbert went yesterday. 4 hits, 2 earned runs, 1 walk, and struck out 9.
And lost. No, I'm just kidding.
Technically, yes. He didn't get the L.
But they
Oh, yes,
lost.
he did. He
Oof.
did. He did get the L.
Tough
JK.
stuff.
He did get the L. But literally that top 3, Castillo, Kirby, and Gilbert have been they got right. They got right, and they're doing the damn thing. So, we will see how that shakes up and who will go for them and who will go for us. So, we will be here recording after the Guardian series, hopefully, with good news. I would love that because I don't know if my liver can take any more of the drinking cup.
She'll be fine. She'll be fine.
I don't know, people. I don't know. So, also, if you missed out on the lives after the losses, they've not made it over to the audio side because they are 2 hours long. And I just really don't feel like editing. So, if you would like to just join in the hilarity and just, I don't know, mire yourself in other people's despair, then by all means, go watch that on the YouTubes. It is actually a pretty good time because we talk about other things, not just Astro's depression. It is actually a good time, but like I said, it's a bit much for the audio side. So I didn't feel like editing and trying to get it down to a good enough
Reasonable.
number. Yeah. So if you're interested in that, there have been Astros episodes of Bourbon and Baseball, just not on the audio side. They've just lived on YouTube. And with
I
that said,
want y'all to know Bourbon Baseball Susie is a good.
I'm a good time regardless if I have bullet bourbon in me or not. But I am just a whole hell of a lot nicer. Let me just put it that way. I'm a whole hell of a lot nicer with the bourbon. And I over enunciate my words. It's like I said, it's a good time. It's very fun. So with that said, Tom, tell the peoples where they can find you on the interwebs.
On Twitter at Third Coast Tom. It's where I do the majority of my business. On Instagram at TC Tom1. I'm trying to be more active there. I've got some stuff that I post, but just not as frequent. And then especially on game days, whether it's with me or not, on the PSF app. If you're watching the Stros and you're watching whatever team, say for some reason you're not here as an Astros fan, as Susie would say, I don't know why you would be, but if you are, they have a group chat for you for whatever team, and there's tons of passionate fans in there. It's a fantastic time. When we do a show, we do it all the way up. Everyone is allowed to get up on the mic, say your piece, or just in the chat box, however you want to do it. I promise you, we will be the highest of the highs, lowest of the lows, right there with you throughout the entire game. It's a great time. If you're not going to the ball game, I strongly suggest you come check us out on the PSF app.
Absolutely. And we have the game Wednesday night, May 1st, and the game Thursday night. So back to back nights, you get to enjoy our company over on the PSF app.
Yeah.
And I don't know if I will be drinking. Depends on how our team does. Let's just be really honest though. Did we say Wednesday night is going to be the JV start?
Yes.
Oh,
Yes.
okay. So maybe we won't be drinking JV night. Let's just hope that he gives up his solo bomb in the first inning and he gets some run support.
Susie is going to be drinking in the second inning. I'm going to tell you why. Because the first inning, it's going to be second and third with one out, and they're not going to score. And poor JV is going to strike out the side, and Susie's going to be on PSF and on Twitter going, we're doing that favorite pastime of the Astros of not providing JV run support. By the fifth inning, I think she'll temper because they'll have scored like 4 runs or something like that. JV will get the win. Everything will be good.
Let's hope, man. Let's hope. Like I said, maybe J-Lo will be that spark. Will be that spark with runners in scoring position. Because apparently we do only the damage on the base paths when there's nobody there. I.e., I'm looking at you, Jose Altuve. And I'm really looking at
Maybe,
you, Alex Bregman.
maybe J-Lo starts that Wednesday against Tristan McKenzie. Maybe that's why he is there.
Ooh, we go up against 2 right-handers the first 2 days. So let's Let us hope. Chaz, calling your ass out too. Where have you been, sir? Where have you been? Need you to get your ass in gear. Need Alex Bregman to get his ass in gear. I need
Bregman's
you
getting
guys to be the
closer, though.
Astros that I know.
The single that Bregman had at the end of that last game really made me feel a lot better about where Bregman's at, because when he's driving the ball back up the middle, he's getting the ball out in front, and I think it's only a matter of time before he gets going. A lot of the stuff he was doing before that, he was fouling stuff off to the right-hand side. He was late on a lot of stuff, striking out on things you'd never see Bregman strike out on. He looked better. He looked better in Mexico.
He did. More Brady-like. More. Now, granted, he did. There was some one pitch pop outs, but there were more working the count and really long ABs. And just that Alex Bregman that we've been accustomed to, not this Alex Bregman of swinging at the first pitch. What are we doing? Stop it. You're not Jose Altuve. With that said, we will see you guys Wednesday and Thursday on the PSF app. Hopefully, after the Thursday game, we will record a happy podcast because we will have won the series. We're going to put that out into the ether. We're going to give the team all of the good vibes. We're going to give J-Lo all of the good vibes and all of the playing vibes, and just we need this. And by we, I really mean just like me, because again, I'm the idiot that ties their emotional well-being to 26 men that have no idea who I am. So if you also are an idiot like me, put all the good vibes out into the ether. Okay? That's what we're going to do. And with that said, I think that's it. I think we're going to wrap it up. I don't even know how that is a thing because it's shorter than an hour, Tom. I think it's a miracle. I think it's a fucking miracle.
Wins do it. Keep winning.
Wins do it. Wins do it. That is true. That is true. Before I wrap up, though, I did have a question, and I totally forgot to ask you. Do you think Jose Abreu got as much time at first base, playing time at first base in Mexico, because Jim Crane was there and they wanted him to witness his signing in person?
No. You know what? I think he got all the playing time at first base because his name is Jose Abreu, and they're going to be people in the crowd going, "Oh, that's Jose Abreu." I don't think, and this is not a slight at John Singleton. I think he was more of a name than John Singleton, and that's why they played him for the fans.
Okay.
Obviously, they're trying to get him right, so it's two birds, one stone.
Okay. Not to be confused with two. Never mind. Do you think, Tom, because The Athletic, Ken Rosenthal have reached out, Grammar Police, they've reached out to Jim Crane, and Jim Crane has not responded, declined to comment
About?
the status of his club. Jose Abreu, all of it.
The Athletic hasn't done the Astros any favors. Why on earth would the Astros do them any favors?
This is true. This is true.
You think Jim Crane's forgot that the Athletic was at the forefront of outing the Astros and the scandal stuff? Or that their head writer at the Athletic is not a big fan of the Astros and publicly was like, look, I don't really like those guys. So he has no one over there that he owes anything to, that he's, oh, that's a really good guy. I should really go out of my way and stick my neck out to give them more to write about. So less is more for him, in my opinion.
Okay, that's fair. That's fair. All right. So with that said, we are going to wrap up. Again, we will see you guys on Wednesday and Thursday on the PSF app. Again, if you guys have not already done it, please give the episode a like. Give the YouTube's a subscription. I don't know why I had to say sub 43 times before I said the actual word. Hit that big red button. Give all of the ratings and the reviews on Spotify and Apple Podcast and any other spot you listen to podcasts. I don't listen to anything else besides Apple and Spotify. So if you do, let me know so that I can be clued in, because I'm a dummy when it comes to that type of stuff. So all of the ratings, all of the reviews, please. Okay. We're hitting hard in Great Britain, Spain, still loving bourbon and baseball. Asia has fallen off. Japan, Korea, they don't like us anymore. United States, I don't know where the fuck y'all are at, but if you guys could just hop on up, that would be delightful as well. We would love that. With that said, now we're going to wrap up and we're going to say, yay, baseball, and record.